Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hey, Emoji King, welcome in. Happy Moon Day. Man, we got a brand new week right now. This whole day, Monday, Moon Day. So let's get into some more of this book by Paschal Beverly Randolph. It's called Seership, Guide to Soul Sight and the Magic Mirror and How to Use It. We're into the magic mirror portion of this book, towards the back end. It's been over a week since I hey Jackie, welcome in. Good morning, happy Monday. So yeah, it's been over a week since I dipped back into this book. I'm not even exactly sure where I left off, but I'm gonna start right here. So yeah, page 96. Oh my gosh, I had yesterday I had 396 subscribers. 396. 396. Ah, I love it. Okay. So, reader, such a proof of immortality can be had by no other means, and it is worth all the medium talk and oblique, indirect, and far-fetched communications in the world 10,000 times over. Another proof, while I write, the Cambridge gentleman alluded to a while since has just related to me the following strange experience with his mirror. I think that's where we are. Quote, a short time ago, while looking in my mirror, my attention was arrested by the appearance of an object resembling a vast and distant mountain. Even while I gazed upon its craggy outlines, it changed into the semblance of an enormous cloud, moving toward the top of the glass, dividing itself into two parts, and gradually vanishing from sight. And now a train of curious but indistinct objects began to pass in panoramic order across the sublime field of the marvelous glass. Suddenly the mirror became radiant with aural light, and things flashed across it with electric speed. Barren religions, utterly destitute of verdure, Verdure. Oh, I gotta look it up. Vurdure. Yeah, that way. Welcome in. Hello, cool gamer. Oh, verdure. I see you. Piezoelectric. I keep looking that word up. VR? VER? Yeah. Lush green vegetation. I've looked this up recently, I think. Oh. Woo! Excuse me. Okay. Barren of verdure, rugged mountains, awful chasms, fearful precipices past, immediately followed by a majestic sweep of planets, stars, suns, systems, galaxies, in awful splendor and unutterable majesty. They sailed away and seemed to leave me solitary and alone, standing hard by the confines, as it were, of an awful, vast eternity, a stranger in an unearthly clime, an infinitesimal mote in space, the merest speck in existence, the nearest approach to nothing, without power to comprehend the vast, boundless, limitless vault before, beneath, above, and around me. Amazed at the awful sublimity of the scene, I was on the point of calling for an explanation, which I undoubtedly obtained, when my solitude was broken by the entrance of one of those cast-iron, matter-of-fact men whose only idea is the dollar, and to my great annoyance, the mirror ceased to reflect the image of the eternal, and the seance for that time was ended. I think I did read that last time, but dang, that's fascinating. The superiority of psychovision in the so-called mediumism of the day, for all purposes whatever, is too apparent to need further argument. Spiritual manifestations subserve the grand end of demonstrating the sublime fact of post mortem existence, but as a relative power, otherwise is of very little use, and the quality of mediumship unquestionably unjurious, because it is impossible to know whether the possessing invisible is good or evil. Crunchy B just had a video up about that. It was really fascinating last night. I see where he's coming from there, the back and forth between, is it something that's within us or is it something that's possessing us? A hearsay is good, but I see and know is a great deal better. The thought here intended to be conveyed was very elegantly and forcibly expressed by Dr. Uriah Clark, a man who had the bravery to openly denounce the imposture and pretense of modern spiritualism in defense of a truer and higher kind, direct from God. Yeah. The trifling tricks passing for modern spiritual phenomena pale into insignificance before the magnificent phenomena of nature and the revelations of God in human history. This brave, o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire, yon cloud capped mountain pushing their white cones into the heavens, yon glorious landscape sweeping into the distant horizon, the murmur of myriads of sentient existences swarming in the air and earth around, the eternal roar of old ocean, and the aeolian melody of the morning and the evening breeze, the songs of woodlands, and the whistling of hurricanes, the waves and tides sweeping around our globe, the world wheeling through empires of endless space, the occult forces flashing in lightnings, in lightnings, IN, and rolling in thunder vibrating the universe, the unseen currents coursing through every fiber of the wonderful mechanism of our being, these minds within us, anon making us feel like heroes, martyrs, gods facing fire, flood, and fiercest battle, these hearts of ours pulsating with hopes bounded only by eternity, all these are revelations of Almighty God and prophets of the soul's unending destiny. Damn, that's awesome. A finer peroration, P-E-R-O-R, peroration, Peroration. Oh, shoot, there was a word back here that I didn't understand, though, too. I gotta look that up. I just had to find it. Aeolian. Aeolian. Okay, Aeolian, and then somewhere over here. Aeolian. Oh, oops. Let's try it now. Aeolian. Geology, relating to or arising from the action of the wind.
Aeolian.
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 I love it. Aeolian, relating to or arising from the action of the wind. Fluvial and Aeolian. Aeolian. Sediments. Aeolian.
Aeolian.
Cool. Okay, and then so it said, and the Aeolian melody of the morning and the evening breeze. Damn, dude, that's beautiful. And then, okay, so excuse me. This first, a finer peroration. Peroration? T-O-N. Peroration. Concluding part of a speech. Oh, typically intended to inspire enthusiasm in the audience. Oh my gosh. I loved my speech class. I loved my speech professor.
Peroration.
This chick.
Peroration.
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 Peroration. Okay. The concluding part of a speech, typically intended to inspire enthusiasm in the audience. He again invoked the theme of an emotional peroration. That's cool. Huh. Hey, Sass, welcome in. Code, yay, welcome in, man. Dude, you know what? I know that this is ridiculous, but like, I forgot to put deodorant on and I can smell myself. I can't stand it. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. I meant to do that before I started. All right. Okay. Okay. A finer peroration. A finer peroration, or a grander one, I never yet heard fall from human lips. Right? What I just read. That's what he's saying. That's cool. Yet, this is called defection and treason against the truth. It may be so, but if it is, then set me down as loving all such defection, defection, and glorying in just such treason. If there were more of it, this were a great deal better world. If there were more of it, this were a great deal better world. That's what it says. Before closing this work, I beg to again enforce upon those who would attain to a positive development of lucidity the absolute necessity of perfect nervous quietude during the process, because every departure therefrom, every excess, physical, mental, emotional, or sexual, every abnormalness of whatever nature, are just so many and effective bars to its attainment. Everything may be done in moderation, but whoever goes beyond the mark treads upon the dead line of clairvoyance. Will is the primal power, love the central force, persistence is the road. Dang. To such as have faith in the things underlying outer sense, who realize that we are floating in a sea of mysteries, that the reality of all things lies deeply hidden behind a thick veil which only the strong and patient soul can raise or penetrate. To those especially who have provided themselves during the last 12 years with good and perfect instrumentalities, and to those who have demonstrated their importance in the deeper researches of magnetic science and philosophy, and to such only is this book and the subjoined code of rules for their use presented. And these rules are exact copies, rendered into English, of those in use by all Oriental seers, with the exception of the extracts from De Novalis and the Masters, both of which I copy from my first work on internal vision, long since out of print. Dang, think about all the books that are like just gone now. I mean, because this is from the 1800s and the 1900s, right? He was born in the 1800s. Man, I would have loved to meet this man. And such an interesting dude, like a fish out of water of his time. He's so cool. I, too, have impatience in these things, will delay or totally prevent success. But unto the true seeking soul cometh ever the real light of the divine magnetic power of true magic. But it cometh in its fullness only to the spirit that is self-possessed and calm. Remember that the Grand Master himself, a genius rare, and therefore a true seer, says, the true Rosicrucian, the acolyte, the adept, reaches forth for the infinite in power and goodness, which are the keys that unlock the gates of glory. And he sees, hears, knows, and healeth the mental, physical, social, moral, and domestic ills of humankind, by means of his goodness and his mighty secret, whereof but few in an age are naturally possessed, and still fewer attain to for whatever of will and patience. Oh, and still fewer attain to for want of will and patience. For only the children of the Empyrean, by nature or adoption, are admitted to the treasure house of the underlying and overflowing real. Such only have the true medical and supernal inspiration, and inhale the diviner breath of God. Whosoever hath a strong will and purity of purpose may, if they elect, unbar the doors of mystery, enter her wide and strange domain, and revel in knowledge denied to baser souls. Hey, Prelly, welcome in. I think it's for learning. I think we choose it. But that's one thought. De Novalis says, the fortuitous is not unfathomable. It too hath a regularity of its own. He or she that hath a right sense for the fortuitous hath already the signet and seal of a royal power, naturally to know and use, not all mystery, but much that lies very, very far beyond the ken of mortals, who are not thus endowed by nature, or have not grown thereto by experience and choice. Such persons can readily determine truly that which to others less gifted or with less courage, will, persistence, and quietude must forever remain unknown. For one with these qualities necessarily commands both information and obedience from the viewless intelligences and subordinate powers and agencies of the universe. Such can seek destiny for others in her own halls, solve her riddles by her own laws, and read, as in an open book, the future, the things that shall befall, an inquirer in all that pertaineth to body, soul, health, affections, and possessions, and still casting forward and upward the soul's keen glance, can discern the final result and summing up of being, and all by means of the facial, Pasoul, facial and phantorama, facial, as revealed in the searcher's vision on the surface of the symph, the magic mirror, the peerless disc of La Triune. Triune? Okay, so where's that word? Pasoul. No. Facile, facor, fazul, phallus. Nope. Let's see what facile means. Is of or relating to distinct or characteristic stages in a sequence of events or chain of development or occurring in such stages. I think that might be what it means. All by means of the soul, the phase of the soul. Yeah. And phantorama, spirit. As revealed to the searcher's vision on the surface of the symph, SYMPH, the magic mirror, the peerless disc of La Triune. Oh, you know what? It said, when I started that whole little bit there, I said, I to have impatience. It was actually a 1, and now we're on 2. 1, to have impatience in these things will delay or totally prevent success. Okay, so I thought he was likening it to himself, but it was in fact a numeral. Hey, last night, Code, when you sent me that link to the show, and I went and I looked at your cool backdrop, and I love that you put numbers on there. And when you did, for the first time, I linked the word numbers to Numina. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. It's really cool. It hit me big. Oh, and I will respond to you. I will respond to you today. But 6:30 sounds great. And also, I think it's totally weird because I think I had it in my head that it was already at 6:30 because I told someone that. So I think that that's cool and weird. Okay. So now we're on 2. There are glasses of 3 grades: the mule or small, neuter, the female, and the male. The first is small but fine, more a philosophic toy than of practical use. Has 2 foci, is good for clouds and fame, symbols and shadows, but the magnetic filament is very thin, and the 2 foci not always mathematically true. They are quite easily warped and broken, cost but little, and are mainly used to fortune telling, mainly used by fortune telling, vagrant gypsies of the lowest class, and who are not able to produce a higher and better grade triune. Hey, buddy, welcome back. I am having a great day. I hope you had a great time at the wedding. Hey, 1222. We assign the meaning, right? We choose. Is being human a good thing? What a question. Is being human a good thing? I mean, I'm more like thinking about, I've never thought that before. I've never had that question in my brain ever before. Like, this is what we are. And I think assigning meaning to it takes a lot more than just saying it's one thing or the other. And it's phasal. There's phases, right? Yeah. The mirror, next in size to the imperfect sort just described, is the mirrorist's parlance, called well-sexed or female, because its foci are true, its polish superb, its power great, and sensitiveness most remarkable. There are magic mirrors in existence really not much superior to the last, valued at fabulous sums. For instance, the one that covers the back of the Sultan's watch for Abdul Aziz of Turkey possesses one of rare beauty, seeing that it consists of a single diamond concave out, and its value is something over $400,000. And then this is back in the day, so that's like what today? Insane amounts. The late Maharaja Duleep Singh possessed 3. One an immense diamond, the other an enormous ruby, and the third composed of the largest emerald known in the world. And yet, despite the enormous pecuniary difference in value between these and the triune of the second order, it is doubtful if the former, for special uses, can ever equal the latter. For a glass of that grade will hold a magnetic film nearly 8 inches in thickness, flattened on the top, quite as good as a first-grade male mirror for seeing all things, and only inferior thereto in not affording a magnetic surface sufficiently extended to admit of the finer and grander phantoramic displays. and not thick enough to enable the seer to readily affect distant persons, or to fix the called up images or simulacra of distant persons, or the locality of the absent living or dead. But for all ordinary purposes, it seems admirably, and in my judgment, is altogether superior to the celebrated crystal globe belonging to Charles Trinius. His last name's Trinius. Of San Francisco, California, for which $3,000 was offered and refused. They are more expensive than the male glass. More of them are made and imported. They are the kind generally in use throughout the Western continent. Not long ago, a reform paper publisher declared he had no faith in mirrors, and yet within a month thereafter published column after column to prove the reality of precisely the same thing. For both the principles, rationale, method, and results are identical, namely spiritual photography. But in reality, the man only objected to the one because it did not originate among the faithful of his peculiar household, and commended another form of the same thing because it did thus originate and was backed up by wealthy lawyers, doctors, judges, and moneyed men, most of whom, judging from their style of argument, possessed more greenbacks than brains. Okay, so as I'm reading this is obviously the way that this magic mirror has moved people. To me, and I could be completely wrong, it just feels so obvious that that is why TVs became a thing, because of how it could take someone's attention and turn their loyalty to something immediately, to have such an experience that would be shown you that. What if you could produce something like that that would show pictures that you made, that would create a world that you want other people to be in? And then our phones, and I mean, the evolution, the facial. I and my friends are poor and can't afford to buy up the proprietors of papers, which you see makes all the difference in the world. And hence there is a marked contrast in regard to the claims of wealthy Tweedledge and impecunious Tweedledum. Tweedledee. Okay. Tweedledee. Is marked contrast in regard to the claims of wealthy Tweedledee and impecunious Tweedledum, who are, after all, precisely right, because exactly on the same ground. Spiritual and electric photography is, and ever was and will be, true. And crystal seership and mirror visions and such photography are one and the same thing, operated by the same laws and principles, and underlaid and subtended by precisely the same wonderful esoteric chemistry. And the only difference, if any, lies in the fact that but few persons can get spiritual photographs, while a great many can obtain very satisfactory but evanescent pictures by means of a differently sensitized plate, a fact I have seen demonstrated hundreds of times, as thousands of others have whom I never saw, heard, or knew. Oh my gosh. Dang, dude. Can't find the nest. Ah! Ah! Hey, Louisiana Sky. Hey, Tom, welcome in. Dang, man, I wish I could help you. Man, I'm sending you the good energy, Genevieve, for that, you and that baby bird. The male mirror is superior to either of the others. Its foci are 4 inches apart. The basin is over 7 inches by 5 in the clear ovoid. And of course, its field is immense. They are better adapted to professional use than private experiment, because they are capable of, and frequently do, exhibit 3 separate and distinct vivoramas at one end and the same time. At one and the same time. to as many distinct onlookers. Wow. I have often wished I could make these mirrors, but that is impossible, as 3 continents furnish the materials composing them. And even the frames and glasses must be imported from beyond the seas, and must also the strangely sensitive material wherewith the sympathetic rings are filled. Seership, Magic Mirror, Chapter 2, concerning which rings and their brightening when the future is well, and their strange darkening when evil impends, or friends fall off and lovers betray. The quatroons of Louisiana, Louisiana Skywatcher, as well as the women of Syria, could tell strangely thrilling tales. And in consequence of the importance attracted to these rings and mirrors, counterfeits of them have been in times past put forward, albeit the parties who obtained them were themselves to blame, seeing that but one person, Vilmara, ever imported either to this country. 3. No mirror or ring must be allowed to be handled much, if at all, by other than the owner thereof, because such handling mixes the magnetisms and destroys their sensitiveness. Others may look into them, holding by the box in which the frame is kept, but never touching either frame of glass. 3. Oh, wait, I just read 3. 4. When the glass surface becomes soiled or dusty, it may be cleaned with fine soap suds, rinsed well, washed with alcohol, or rubbed with a little fluoric acid, and then polished with soft velvet or camis leather, Chamois. Is it camis? Let's find out. Man, yeah, this is me from waking up. I didn't do anything, including put deodorant on. A top of soft, pliable leather made from sheepskin or lambskin.
Chamois.
Chamois? Cool. Velvet or chamois leather. Chamois. Is that French? I don't know. Chamois leather. Cool. 5. A mirror must not be neglected, but should frequently be magnetized by passes with the right hand, 5 minutes at a time. This is calculated to keep it alive and give it strength and power. 6. Passes with the left hand add to its magnetic sensitiveness. Saturnian Sun said something really cool in Jackie's chat last night about left hand, or maybe it wasn't. I don't know where I saw him say that, but like it had a touch of prophecy to it, the way he said it. I liked it. 7. The longer time and frequency of its use, the better it becomes. 8. The somnifying or magnetizing power of the glass is obtained to a greater degree than is possible by hand magnetism, but looking at its center in perfect quietude. It will magnetize many who defy mesmerism. Man, I've encountered, I don't know, that dude that I dated that was like a mesmer. He wasn't able to hypnotize me. And when I went to that quit smoking cessation hypnotization, that didn't do a thing for me. I was just like, it's been like 2 hours. Can I get outside to smoke a cigarette? like, and when I went and did the past life regression thing. I was unable to get into a state of hypnosis that took away this lens, or not to, or like took me to a different place that I don't know. Okay, so 9. When used, the mirror's back must always be toward the light, but its face never. That is fatal to its visional power. Wow. So many rules. 10. The position of the glass, held or placed, must be oblique. That is to say, its top must lean from the onlooker. 11. When amateurs or several look in at one time, it should be suspended, but must then be touched by nobody at all. 12. The proof of the proper focus or position of the glass is when no image or thing whatever is reflected in it. The proof of the proper focus or position of the glass is when no image or thing whatever is reflected in it. Change its inclination or move the head till a clear, plain, whitish black, deep, watery volume is seen, which will not be till the magnetism has time to collect. Damn, this is cool. Jeez. That surface is the magnetic plane of the mirror, and in and upon it all things seeable in a triune are beheld. 13. The first things seen are clouds. They appear to be on or in the mirror, but in reality are not so, but on the upper surface of the magnetic field above it. That magnetic plane collects there from the eyes of the onlooker. Persons of the magnetic temperament, brunette, dark-eyed, brown-skinned, and with dark hair, charge it quickly, but no more effectually than those of the opposite temperament, blonde or blondette, who are electric in temperament. When I was younger, I was like a real blonde, like super blonde. Both my sister and I. And the older I've grown, the browner and browner my hair gets. But I still do have like little tones of lightness in there. And weirdly too, some days, I don't know, some days my hair looked different colors on different days. It's weird. Other people were pointing it out to me and I was like, you're right. Yeah, at the show at Burger Night a couple weeks ago, my hair looked really blonde. It was so weird. Okay. "14. The male is not so easily developed into seership as the female sex, but become exceedingly powerful and correct when they do so. Virgins see best. Next to them are widows. 15. In all cases, the boy before puberty and the girl in her pucelage make the quickest and sharpest seers. Their magnetism is pure, unmixed, unsexed, and purity means power in all things magnetic and occult." So yeah, that thing that Crunchy Bee loaded up last night, which was so fascinating. And there's a school in the UK where children from age 6 to 12 can go and learn to hone this third eye soul sight. They read books with blindfolds on. They point to colors with blindfolds. They're learning how to see from their third eye. And it's amazing. It's freaking amazing. And they say that the ages between 6 and 12 are before the left side of your brain becomes super developed. But our thoughts, they create what our brains do, right? So while it might be a lot easier between 6 and 12 to hone into this skill and understand what that feels like and know, it's available to all of us. Man, I love that there's schools out in the world that are doing that. I think those little kids are lucky to have that experience where they're taught to actually know these things. Like, I'm telling you, I watched the guy that interviewed them. You should watch Crunchy Bee's video of it. this guy that was interviewing these kids who were in the school, drawing a picture. They're drawing the picture with the blindfold on. Like, they're able to connect lines as if they can literally see through the blindfold. And while the guy's asking them, what am I drawing? And he's drawing this truck. The girl is just like, it's a vehicle. She says it, and he's not even facing her. She's not even seeing it, because she's connecting with him. She's connecting with energy. I love that. I'm so thankful he put that up last night. 16. While clouds are favorable, affirmative, good. Oh, white. White clouds are favorable, affirmative, good. 17. Oh. 10, 11, 12. Wait. That actually does say 12. It says X22. We already did 12. They messed up the Roman numerals, and I'm not like super good at Roman numerals, so thanks. I'm getting better every day, though. So, okay. That's supposed to be a V. So 16. Black clouds are the exact reverse. Inauspicious, bad. 17. Dude, this is really jacking me up here. Or is that supposed to be 18? I think it's supposed to be 18. 18, violet, green, blue, presage, coming joy. Presage, coming joy are excellent. Violet, green, and blue. Shit, this is good. This is great. Okay, 19. Oh, that is actually what 19 looks like, though. XIX, okay. Red, crimson, orange, yellow mean danger, trouble, sickness, beware, deceptions, losses, betrayal, slander, grief, and indicate surprises of a disagreeable character. I just mean... I don't know. That's just personal. It's just a personal thing. Okay, so 20. To affect a distant person, invoke the image, hold it by will, and fix the mind and purpose steadily upon the person, and whoever he or she may be, no matter where they are. The telegraph of soul will find them somewhere within the spaces. But observe this law. Nothing is surer than if the seer's purpose react upon him or herself with terrible effect sooner or later. Wherefore all are strictly cautioned to be and do good only for and then ... to 21. Remember the aerial spaces are thronged with innumerable intelligences, celestial and the reverse. The latter have force, the former possess power. To reach the good ones, the heart must correspond. In many ways will they respond when involved with prayerful feelings, and they will protect the shield from the bad. They will protect and shield from the bad. And there are countless hosts. Am I back? I seem to go out again. Absolutely, Prelly. Red and orange can be used in any way, right? But they do have veins. They have these veins. Everything coincides in one way or another. What is it? This? I don't know. Is it 7 degrees? 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon? All right. I don't know how much I buffered out there. I'm going to start on the top of 21 again. For remember, the aerial spaces are thronged with innumerable intelligences, celestial and the reverse. The latter have force, the former possess power. To reach the good ones, the heart must correspond. In many ways will they respond when involved with prayerful feelings, and they will protect and shield from the bad. And there are countless hosts of the bad on the serried confines of the two great worlds, matter and spirit, myriad of grades of them. whereof the pulling phenomenal spiritualist has never yet has even dreamed. These malign forces are many and terrible, but they can never reach or successfully assault the soul that relies on God in perfect faith and which involves the good, the beautiful, and the true. 22. The face of the mirror should never be exposed to the chemical and as, actinic influence. The chemical and actinic influence of direct sunlight. ACTINIC. Actinic. Dang it, dude. I wish it's fine. Cami. Chamois, my bad. Oh no. It left me real fast. Okay. Actinic. Actinic? Actinic.
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 Relating to or denoting light able to cause photochemical reactions, as in photography, through having a significant short wavelength or ultraviolet component.
Actinic.
Actinic. Wow. Okay, so relating to or denoting light able to cause photochemical reactions, as in photography, through having a significant short wavelength or ultraviolet component. Actinic. Actinic. The face of the mirror should never be exposed to the chemical and actinic influence of direct sunlight because it ruins the magnetic susceptibility, just as it does the sensitized plate of the photographer. And no mirror once spoiled can be more good as before without sending it to Europe to be remade entirely. Moonlight, on the contrary, befits them. The back must not be tampered with or removed, for any light striking it will at once completely ruin all its magnetic properties, hence its careful sealing. So also are extremes of heat and cold injurious to them, because either will destroy the parabolic ovoid shape of the glass, which done, it is thenceforth useless, for it will no longer retain its hold upon the magnetic effluvium from the eyes. I apologize. It's a lot of. It's okay. I'm doing all right. The sensitive sheet upon which its clouds and other marvels are mirrored, but it will roll off like water from hot iron, and, in the words of Vilmara, be good never, no more. 23. Whatever appears upon the left hand of the mirror looker, as he gazes into it, is real. That is to say, is a picture of an actual thing. Enjoy your walk, Genevieve. 24. Whatever appears upon the right hand, as he looks into it, is symbolical. Dude. 25. Ascending clouds or indistinct shadows are affirmative replies to questions that may be asked. If silently, it makes no difference. 26. Descending clouds are the negations to all such questions. 27. Clouds or shadows moving toward the seer's right hand are signals from spiritual beings, indicative of their presence and an interest. Wait, clouds or shadows moving toward the seer's right hand are signals from spiritual beings, indicative of their presence and interest. That makes sense. The right side is the symbolic side. 28. When they move toward the left hand of the seer, it means done for this time. The seance is ended for the presence. Wow. That magic is an actual thing no sane men, especially if well read and traveled, will deny. For there is too much corroborative testimony from among the Hindus, spelled Hindoos, Indians, Arabs, Negroes, Tartars, that was the one that I was, Chinese, and other races to successfully do so. Americans, till of late years, have wholly neglected the veiled studies, but from their immense amount of energy, brain, and nervous power, they will yet excel all other people on the planet, or on the globe, in that, as in other special ties. So sure am I of this, that I venture to assert that aside from the savages of our cities, 8/10 of the average Americans are competent in 6 weeks to the development of what in another age than this would be regarded as miraculous phenomena, either of the physical type of mediumism or of the clairvoyant order, through circles, magnetism, or seeing by the mirror. Oh, you know what? I was wrong. Oh, no, I wasn't. We're still, it's just, I didn't know that we're getting into this part. There's a whole nother area. The magical arts. How long has it been? 51 minutes? You know what? 51 minutes. 7 to 33. Yeah, I'm gonna call this, and I think I'm just gonna do one more reading for this, probably this week at some time. This is so fascinating. Maybe even later today, maybe not. I really want to read more of The Waking Dream by Ray Grass too. This is so juicy. Dang. So yeah, this is a good way to start the afternoon for me. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'alls. We'll get more into this juicy info later this week. Later from now. So I love you. And until next time, thank you so much. Mwah. Have a wonderful Monday. Brand new week. What we bringing in, right? Thank you.